it.
Hello out there, thanks for joining us on Political Platform. It's a Thursday, and we are glad as usual to have you out there. Either you are watching on AIT Abuja or on YouTube, where you can get the whole of the recording of a Political Platform. If you go to our YouTube channel, AIT Political Platform, to watch any of all the episodes of Political Platform, or indeed this particular episode. And for those listening to us on the road, in their cars, at home, on Repower FM around Nigeria, thank you so much for joining us. And more thanks to those who have took out time to write to us through politicalplatform@yahoo.com, dropping a note for us on all the issues we are raising. The question of restructuring is still going on. A lot of issues being debated around it. Anything you talk about now, it is how do we restructure to solve the problem? Just like we said yesterday, that the issue of religion, the curriculum that we are quarreling over, can indeed just go away if we allow everybody, those either regions or in the states, under a truly run federal structure to handle the curriculum of their schools the way they want to. Now, the big question, Evans, the man who has taking it upon himself in the last 10, 12 years to terrorize, kidnap, and do so much that the police celebrated. He wants the court to free him. So he's in court to enforce his fundamental human right. Yes, you heard me correctly. He has the fundamental human rights to be enforced. He wants to be freed. Well, if you listen to the former Super Eagles player whose father, 86, was adopted by his gang and killed and buried in a shallow grave, you want to ask which fundamental human right is this man asking for. But that is not the troubling question. The trouble is actually that the police has admitted that they are under intense pressure to release him, and that pressure from everywhere is mounting on them. Where the acting commissioner of police, Gala Dansuki, acting commissioner of police in Lagos, told the journalists that the police is under intense pressure, and he swore on behalf of the police that he will not be released. And the man who led this team to arrest him, talking about the assistant commissioner of police who is in charge of the special police unit that is responsible for this, has said that they have obtained a court order to under the new criminal justice system to detain Evans for at least 3 months pending investigation, saying that the investigation dragnet cut across so many countries, including Nigeria, Ghana, and South Africa, and so many people are involved. So they need time to carry on investigation. And you recall that we also asked the first public relations officer early this week to explain to us why he has not been charged to court. And he said they will charge him to court, but they don't want to do a shoddy job. We'll be talking about this. And we also are continuing with our discussion on the curriculum, at least to give a balance. And we have Mohammed Jamil, the National Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, joining us on this program this morning. Be telling us the other side of the coin. We spoke to a man yesterday who believed that Arabic's presence in the curriculum is not good for the Christians, and that even if they want to leave Arabic there, they must create a distinct and unique subject in the study of Christianity in schools, and not merged in the subject that is called religion and national, however they call it. Now, we have that, we'll take on that, and just to give you a brief on Fayose Ayo. Fayose is the governor of Ekiti State, and each time he says something, you don't just look at Fayose, you look at what he has said. He said it's time for President Muhammadu Buhari to resign following his prolonged illness, and says he has it on authority that the president is on life support and that he cannot function as president. And he's asking those who are close to him and everybody to prevail on him to release himself from the power. We'll also be talking about that if time permits us. We actually did promise we are going to give you a clip of the president's Salah message that he spoke to his voice on BBC Hausa service. But unfortunately, we are not able to give you that, and even events have overtaken that. But we'll be having this kind of robust session with you today. I mean, discuss all these and analyze them, and we have our guests who will call on and will share your views through political platform at yahoo.com. Okiri Agbonsure is my name. Mustafa Mohammed is joining me. Mustafa, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
And I have Dr. Amicha Nakwe also in the house.
Hello and welcome, Ohiria. File shares a message, but my concern is the fact that it appears we have two sovereigns. A president in United Kingdom, an acting president who unfortunately appears not to be in charge. Just a while ago, Hedu reminded us that two ministers that were confirmed by the National Assembly are yet to be sworn in and given portfolio because the acting president feels his hands are tied. And now we are reading from one of the dailies.
Has he said so?
No, well, he has not taken any action. So we assume it's unprecedented that the National Assembly will confirm ministers and they will not be sworn in and assigned portfolio. Now we are reading now from the dailies that the tenure of the service chiefs will end second week of July. What is going to happen? Is the acting president in a position to act to renew their tenure or appoint new ones? Considering the fact that, considering the drama that enveloped the signing of the budget and all that, is it truly in a position to function? Is the cabal in quote now having some overbearing influence? Who suffers at the end of the day when policy decisions are not taken? Is it the nation that suffers at the end of the day?
Well, I think sometimes we actually run things over even before they emerge. Yes, the events surrounding the budget signing gives cause for concern, but we must work on the path of constitutionalism. What powers has the president, and not begin to assist him to find reasons. Not to. How we need to tell the president, the acting president, is to act his office. Act your office. You can even appoint ministers. I mean, you can nominate ministers. He was the one that nominated. Forgotten that he was the one that nominated the Chief Justice of the current Chief Justice. He was the one that forwarded the name. It was not President Muhammadu Buhari that did that. In any case, let me continue with telling you that I have my other colleagues in the house. Uju, welcome to the program.
Okay, Ria, I think that the acting president should, activate the talk, if I may use that word. He should go ahead and show Nigerians that nothing is inhibiting him from fulfilling the dictates of the position he has found himself. If he knows that he has the powers, then let him do the needful and not wait for anything or any cabal to, tie his hands. If truly he's a free man, then let him show us. And
Ijoma Salmon is also writing. Ijoma, welcome to the program.
Okay, thank you. I would like to delve away from the issue of the acting president and go to the question of the religion and Arabic studies. Just like we have French, we have English language as a separate course. Mm-hmm. Why don't they just take away this Arabic studies from the CRK and make it a separate course? It's
a separate course. Arabic studies is a language like English, like French.
We know.
Like Hausa, like Yoruba, like Igbo. It is just a separate language, and it's optional.
What is the relationship with the CRK and the new curriculum?
Of course, the argument is that Arabic is the official language of Islam, and that if you are studying Arabic, you are indirectly creating a full subject for Islam, as well as accommodating the Islamic studies under the bogus headline of the religious and other studies that we have, where you have IRK and CRK. Of course, these are the issues that our guests are talking about. I also have Hedu Anyangu. Anyangu is our colleague, one leg out, one leg in, where he's a regular, but he's more with the government. Somebody said, since he joined government, he must have found out what the truth is, and that when you are in government, it's a different thing altogether. Welcome, Hedu.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. He's the media aide to Governor Okowa of Delta State. Well,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, let's go to our mailbox. Let's harvest your thoughts first through political platform at yahoo.com.
Thank you, Hira. Welcome to the mail segment. I am Ife Nwanwobi.
I am Tenikang Akepu. You're welcome.
The issue of religion in our education sector has remained the trending topic in our mailbox. And a mail from Yusuf in Abuja says, people like your guest yesterday are part of the problems of this country. They plant seeds of distrust and suspicion among the populace. They contrive injury where there is none. It is quite interesting that he made research to discover that in predominantly Muslim northern regions of Nigeria, Christian religious knowledge is not taught in schools. Did he also make the same research in the Christian-dominated southeast and south-south regions to prove that Christian leaders over there have been fair to ensure that Islamic religious studies is taught in schools too? My inquiry from Muslim relations in those regions showed that no IRS is taught in any school. He who must come to equity must come with clean hands. If it is fair that because Muslims are few in those regions, IRS could not be taught, it could also mean that because Christians are few in those states he referred to, therefore CRK could also not be taught.
And staying with that, where CK Emmanuel in Abuja says, after listening to your guest and also the summary made by Dr. Amechi, I tend to disagree that giving each region, state, local government or community the power to design their curriculum is the lasting solution to the issue at hand. This is because a nation practicing democracy, where minority would only have a say and majority would have their way, the best thing to do is remove religion, Christian or Islam studies from the curriculum and replace it with entrepreneurially inclined subject. I love my country, Nigeria.
Staying with that, Aloy Hanacho from Ikeja in Lagos State says, if CRK and IRS collapsed into one on optional basis, and some states wittingly or unwittingly fail to employ teachers that will teach either of the two subjects, then it is most certain that some students will be left with no other option than to go for the available one, and regrettably against their wish, since it is compulsory to sit for one. More so, Arabic is synonymous with Islam, more like Hebrew and Latin are to Christianity. So these three languages ought to be seen and cherished on religious grounds only. It should not be dragged into national affairs.
And this is where we draw the curtain on the mail segment. Keep your mails coming. Send them to politicalplatform@yahoo.com.
Bust it. They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform on AIT Abuja.
Thank you so much. Just before we come to the issue of the curriculum and call on our guests to join us, let's talk about Evans. Let's talk about the seemingly difficult situation to understand that a man who was celebrated, whose arrest was celebrated by the police and Nigerians. For those who have read the chronicles of his escapades, those who died, the kind of money, I read one who paid $1.2 million at a go, split of in 3 tranches, and how he survived. And I simply just look at the story of the former Super Eagles father, 86 years, how he died, how a supporter or one of the gang members led them to the grave. And I just wonder if the police have not gotten enough evidence. Must the police indeed, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not also an investigating expert, must they get all the evidence in this whole world over a period of 3 months before they charge Evans to court and nail him with a particular one they are sure of and send him to jail? He can be attending trial from jail for the other charges if need be. Or are we playing to the gallery? The way the things are going, it does appear that the interest surrounding Evans is so much that some people are moving. They are afraid that their names will be mentioned and that the police is going to move against them It is said that the police have released one of those critical persons that some persons are afraid now that the release will cause them some anguish and pain. They don't understand what is going to happen.
That's according to a court order.
Yes, I wouldn't really understand what is happening, how we are actually treating this matter. If it is going to be treated like what we have seen before, we have seen so many, we can list so many instances in the past where high-profile individuals, criminals are arrested, and then we gloss over them, we never hear anything again.
Well, I think the police needs to do thorough investigation. They said they are going to be professional about it. We expect them to do just that. They also said they have a window of 3 months that legally they have gotten a remand order from a court to hold him for 3 months. But the one I'm concerned about is the stories the police is feeding to the media. That's the sensationalization of the entire saga. The more you bring out your evidence to the public, just as we are seeing with anti-corruption trials of high-profile persons, by the time you get to court, the defense counsel will have an opportunity to puncture it. Let them do the investigation, but for God's sake, let them stop the practice the FCC and IPCs have been doing and focus on the job and have it done.
I think that, like Amechi said, the police has to be discreet, in what it divulges to the public, more so with the nature of the case on hand. And then, of course, we hear that a lot of them are under pressure. And I ask what kind of pressure? But, of course, in the spirit of the anti-corruption stance of this government, I think that the police needs to show that it can indeed be professional and thorough. That this thing about the Nigerian factor, should
does
be
not creep
exactly does not creep in. This is one good opportunity for the Nigerian police to redeem whatever taint it may have had in the past.
But I can tell you that putting up a billionaire alleged kidnapper in the prison is a very big thing in Nigeria. If they have arraigned him, we know that automatically, even if he is asking for bail, the next thing the judge will do is to ask that the guy be remanded in prison before the case will be looked at, or even before the bail is considered. You can actually arraign him and even amend the charges in the future. So this story of wanting to keep him in detention for 3 months before investigations are completed, then the case should continue, is something the police shouldn't have done. The first thing is that go and arraign him. He should be sent to prison. You can amend your charges later. But if you keep him in the VIP, you know how high-profile prisoners are.
I hope
treated.
one day we don't hear that he has escaped. Or something has happened, because we have heard of it. There was a Gloria Okon in Nigeria.
Yeah, she was seen in the UK.
Now, they say she died in the course of...
and a vampire.
We have been waiting, and a lot of no deeper stories. I hope we do not hear one story of escape.
Ohira, I agree 100% with the views of Mustafa on this particular issue. It's not only the police, even other security agencies, they progress to keeping people rather than charging them to court, because oftentimes they are not even thorough with their investigation. One would expect that with the amount of information and whatever confessional statement Evans might have made, the best thing would have been to charge him to court. But of course, they will be much more interested in showing to the public that they are working rather than getting the work done. I just do hope that they're able to take him to court. And in any case, those who are also getting worried that Evans is suing, it is within his
powers,
rights to do so. If you recall, in the case of America, O.J. Simpson and that of at the moment Bill Cosby and this other the athlete in South Africa, I can't Pistorius. You will understand that no matter the amount of crime you have committed, you're also entitled to asking for this right to live once again.
All
so
right.
Even if he's doing that, let the police do what they need to do, and then let's not get bothered about whether he's asking that he should be made free.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll go to our guests.
Busted.
They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform on AIT Abuja.
Thank you so much for remaining with us on Political Platform. Yesterday we spoke with Professor Adisa, who told us that there's a lot to worry about on the curriculum, and he particularly cited some northern states where students who wish to study the Christian religious knowledge don't have teachers, and as a deliberate policy, the states, he mentioned 2 states, Niger and Kwara states, where even Christian bodies volunteered to bring in teachers, but the states said they are not interested. He raised the fears that the way the curriculum is structured, those who want to study the Christian religious knowledge may be structured out in parts of Nigeria. Now, Jamil Muhammad Jamil is the National Amir Muslim Student Society of Nigeria. I reached out to him yesterday, and he obliged us to give us his own perception about the debate. Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah. Now, what is your general view on the curriculum?
Let me begin by saying that the government of Nigeria, successive governments in the past, have played religion so much to the background, regardless of whatever religion it is. They've taken something else as something that will give the moral value that is required at least particularly in our children and in the youth of this country. And they relegated religion to the background. This is the general perception. And that was what even led to this new curriculum of having what we call national values and religion being meshed together, where you have only a portion of that subject under the basic education that will take either IRS or CRS. So the curriculum we have written as the society, Muslim Society of Nigeria, have written from the government of President Goodluck Jonathan when that curriculum was introduced. We wrote a lot of letters, and we made a lot of presentations to say that anytime we relegate religion, and we're crying that our youth are getting more and more wayward, why wouldn't they, when the way they enjoy their morality is not being taken care of? So as far as the curriculum is concerned, it has downplayed a lot of things about religion.
So many people believe that we are giving too much attention to religion. You are saying that we are playing it down. I mean, you see, there is a difference between teaching a person the religion and that person or another person religious. Nigerians. You may want to adjust yourself. Just stay in one place so that the network can be good. We are not hearing you much again.
Okay. I said Nigerians, we claim to be religious, yes, but we are highly ungodly because our religiosity is only on our tongues and on the lips of our mouths. We do not learn the rudiment. Most of us do not even learn what the various religions we upheld to.
Are you aware of the existence of National Board for Arabic and Islamic Studies in the Federal Ministry of Education? You are aware of that?
Yes, I'm aware.
What is that board supposed to be doing in the Ministry of Education?
Yeah, the board is, we are talking about getting people all educated. There is this Al-Majri and the Islamia schools that need to be given a recognition so that students who are going through that kind of education will also be encouraged to continue. So that is what the board came to serve. That it will serve those who are in the Islamia school and would also have an exam that they will attend to, and it's going to be a national exam that will be accepted so that they can also further their education. So
does it explain the worries of Christians that when you are studying Arabic, you are actually indirectly studying Islam? Because if you have a National Board for Arabic and Islamic Studies and you have Arabic in the curriculum, is their fears misplaced?
No. Arabic is a language.
Yes.
Just like English. If I let's put all sentiment aside, but one would say that the colonial masters brought Christianity to Nigeria.
Yeah.
And the language they brought Christianity with is English. So would it be okay for every Muslim to say, if you are studying English, you are studying Christianity?
Well, we don't have a board. We don't have a board for English studies and Islamic and Christian.
No, we have English
Christian studies
as our official language. We have English as a compulsory subject for everybody. That's why I say, put sentiment aside. Arabic is a language just like English, French, and other ones are languages.
Okay.
Let me just tell you, okay. I have friends who are Reverend Fathers, because I'm into interfaith, who are Reverend Fathers, whom if we speak Arabic with ourselves.
Yeah.
Because they've gone to Egypt to learn about Christianity in Arabic.
Time is actually almost up. I wouldn't know. Let's just have a quick take.
You asked a question that he really didn't answer. You know, why we do not have a board for English language and Christian religious knowledge.
Yeah, but he has said it was not necessary because we have English as our official language and everybody speak English. So there's no need for special emphasis for there to be a board. But we have a board for Arabic and Islamic studies with headquarters in Kaduna.
It's actually an issue of perception. This Arabic that people are talking about, like part of the country where I come from, for over 1,000 years we have used the Arabic language and Arabic letters to write in even Fulfulde, Kanuri, Hausa, and the Muslim scholars in Yoruba land have also used Arabic to communicate. But we need to really work on the perception. The government need to also look at the fears of the Christendom in Nigeria about, the Arabic language. A lot of them didn't know that Arabic is a language. You don't have to be a Muslim when you study Arabic with Islam. And you go to Egypt, Kuwait, and Jordan, including Lebanon, the overwhelming majority of the Arab Christians are there. I've visited Arab Christian churches, including a Catholic church.
There's one question I would have hoped he would have answered. There was one point he made that
we have to wrap up.
Yes, very quickly. That the Almajiri school is being run based on Arabic language. Now, if products of that come to the society and product of those that went to schools in English come to the society belonging to a same nation, how do they communicate? How do they interact? Knowing that by the word of our constitution, English is our official language.
Well, we have to go now. Senator Sekibo, George Sekibo is asked to vacate his office by the tribunal. Senator Sekibo is from Rivers State. That tribunal delivered the judgment. It's that same tribunal that probably delivered the judgment on that gave the verdict to Senator Magnus Abe to remain in office. We'll be giving you the details when we come back on the program on Friday. Okiri Agbonsuremi here. Do have a wonderful day.